My relationship ended because he hated my body. I really wish that this was one of those satirical videos that I usually do, but it's not. This is probably the hardest video that I will ever make, hopefully. I've debated a lot about sharing this story, but after talking to so many people in my life about this, I am finally kind of ready to share. It was a very long conversation. He kind of told me that he didn't want to tell me the reason why he wanted to break up with me. And I eventually kind of pried it out of him. He said that his therapist also wanted him to tell me the reasoning. He's just like sitting on the couch and he like raises his voice and he goes, "There are just things about your body that I hate." Oh my god. Awesome. If you guys didn't know, I've been pretty open about it. I had an ED for many years. I got treatment for it. After that, I was in another relationship that was extremely stressful, and I gained a lot of weight while I was in that relationship because I was stress eating. So within the last like 6 or 7 years, I've experienced both spectrums of relationships with food. So knowing that, you can imagine how difficult it was for me to kind of process that this was the reasoning. Apparently everything else about me was perfect, but he was not attracted to me. I wish I could go back in time and just hug myself, because my first reaction to it, to hearing that he wasn't attracted to me, was I wanted to fix it. I was like, how is there just an issue with like attraction in general in your life? Like, what is going on? Which is kind of funny because I feel like that response was kind of like, I definitely know it's not me, but like, what's going on? What's going on with you? But he like very confidently was like, no, I've been attracted to other women while we've been together. I'm obviously laughing now, but it was terrible. It was really terrible in the moment. After we had this conversation, I went back home to San Diego. We were still kind of navigating what to do, but I feel like after I heard all of those words, especially the word hate, I just knew that things could never ever go back to normal. Hate is just such a strong word to use about someone else's body, and I know that because like that's the word for so long that I used about my own body. And after going to San Diego, I immediately found a therapist because I was starting to do things that I just hadn't done in so many years. It took us a couple days to break up for real. I think after a little while he realized that he had made a mistake apparently, and he told me that he would stay with me and learn to get over these thoughts that he was having about me. And it's like, how do you stay with someone who has to learn to find you attractive after you've done everything for them and poured yourself out? It's just ridiculous. I was not going to let myself put myself in that situation, because that's not okay. I know that people have types and stuff like that, but when I asked, I was like, is this something that just happened over time? He was like, no, I was never attracted to you. He was like, even on our first date, he wasn't attracted to me. And he was like, oh, so many people think you're so attractive, so I just thought it would grow over time. And I have a pretty face, so, he thought something was going to happen. Which is genuinely, I think, the cruelest thing that someone has ever said to me. He was like, oh, you used to be a model, I just thought that I could get over it. And it's just shocking to hear that someone needs to get over the way your body looks. I feel like I've even made videos about this type of man, and it's so scary that a size 4 is something that's so unattractive. I literally shudder to think about what these types of people think about women who are bigger than I was. I just ultimately ended up ending things because I could not. I just couldn't do it. And honestly, in the beginning, it was so hard. My mom wanted to like make me feel better, and we went out to buy like some new clothes for me. I couldn't even like walk past the mirrors at the store. Like just looking at myself, like I felt repulsive. I just so easily saw myself through his eyes because I used to think that way before I went through recovery. And then something just kind of clicked in my head one day. I was like, why would I ever let this man who is clearly mentally ill dictate how I feel about myself? I think ultimately what I didn't relate to is when I love somebody unconditionally. And so the thought of everything being so perfect about a person, but then to criticize their body, a body that has gotten me through recovery, that has gotten me through 2 attempts, that has gotten me through living through a childhood filled with DV. How dare you criticize me and the body that has gotten me through so much, that has done so much for so many people. It's so much in my nature to protect people, and even when we were breaking up, he literally pleaded with me and asked me not to make a mean video about him. And I said that I wouldn't, but the more and more time goes on, I do so much for so many people. What about me? What about my feelings? What about how I feel? This has altered the way I look at myself forever. At this point, I'm doing so much better with my body image, but that comment, it haunts me. A month after all of this happened, I got signed to a modeling agency. I've been focusing on myself so much more. I've been pouring all of the love I used to pour into other people into my own life, and I don't recognize that person that sat on that couch and tried to beg to be loved and appreciated and accepted. And it feels so good to just be alone. I think I'm more confident than I ever have been in my body, which is great. You know, I still have my days, we all do. But I think the way that this is affecting me now, I've always been the person to love. And I'm just wondering, is it even realistic to expect to be loved back in the same way that I love? Is love just this chemical feeling and a contractual obligation between 2 people to stay together? Because I just genuinely don't know how someone could feel my love and then treat me like I was nothing. It's hard. I know that I'm beautiful. I know that. I don't need some white guy to tell me that. I'm an influencer. I'm a model. My job is to be beautiful. I think my personality and I think my resilience has always been my best qualities. Having my partner look at my body and tell me that I was unattractive genuinely was my biggest fear. And it happened to me, and I lived. I'm alive. It didn't ruin me, well, completely, but I think my attitude towards life has changed so much. I used to be so scared to do so many things, and I'm like, dude, I've experienced the worst thing, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I've grown this community around talking about misogyny and talking about body positivity, and it just felt wrong to not talk about this. I know probably a lot of women have gone through something similar as well, so I just wanted to share in hopes that this is impactful for anybody else. Thank you guys for being there. I'll get through this one. I really am all right. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Hearing her story is a testament to resilience. To face such hurtful words from someone you trusted, especially after overcoming so much, is beyond painful. Yet she took that experience, found strength in herself, and is pouring love back into her own life. It's powerful to see her refuse to let someone else's shallow judgment dictate her self-worth. She is absolutely right. Beauty goes far beyond appearances, and her courage and resilience shines through here. This is the reminder we'd all need. We don't need validation from anyone who fails to see our true worth.